Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskristyam Narunchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. Reading from chapter 18, text number 63. Iti te jnanam akyatam guyat guyataram maya vimrashetad aseshena yatte chasi tata kuru. Iti te jnanam akyatam guyat guyataram maya vimrishyat saitat aseshena yatte chasi tata kuru. Iti te jnanam akyatam guyat guyatara maya vimrishyaitada yattechasi tatha kuru. Anybody else would like to chant?
Idide jnanam akhyadam guhyad guhyadaram maya vimsrityathat aseshena yade chasi tada kuru.
Iti te jnanamakhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrushaytya asheshena yatechasi tatha kuru.
Okay. Let's also hear.
Idite jnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrishyai tadasheshena yathechasi tatha kuru.
Word by word. Iti, thus, te, unto you, jnanam, knowledge, akyatam, described, guyat, then confidential, guya taram, still more confidential, maya, by me, vimrishya, deliberating, etat, on this, asheshena, fully, yatha, as, ichasi, you like, tatha, that, kuru, perform. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Thus, I have explained to you knowledge, still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do. Purport. The Lord has already explained to Arjuna the knowledge of Brahma Bhuta. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 30th chapter, 20th verse. One who is in the Brahma Bhuta condition is joyful. He never laments, nor does he desire anything. That is due to the confidential knowledge. Krishna also discloses knowledge of the Super Soul. This is also Brahman knowledge, knowledge of Brahman. But it is superior. Here the words, Yat Chasit Thakuru, as you like you may act, indicate that God does not interfere with the little independence of the living entity. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has explained in all respects how one can elevate his living condition. The best advice imparted to Arjuna is to surrender unto the Super Soul, seated within his heart. By right discrimination, one should agree to act according to the order of the Super Soul. That will help one become situated constantly in Krishna consciousness, the highest perfectional stage of human life. Arjuna is being directly ordered by the personality of Godhead to fight. Surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in the best interest of the living entities. It is not for the interest of the Supreme. Before surrendering, one is free to deliberate on this subject as far as the intelligence goes. That is the best way to accept the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such instruction comes also to the spiritual master, the bona fide representative of Krishna. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Sulakaya Chakshurmitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadhammayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sijata Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagarajata Sagana Raghunathavitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Pariyana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanto Namastate Saptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Bhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhayo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrishaitad aseshena yathechasi tatha kuru. Thus, I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. So, earlier in this chapter, we see just few verses before, there's an entire section where the Lord kind of mentioned to Arjuna about this confidential knowledge of Brahman, right? Knowledge of Brahman, that through Jnana Yoga, the perfection of Jnana Yogi is Brahman realization, right? Perfection of Jnana Yogi is Brahman realization. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kangsati sama sarveshu bhuteshu madabhakti labhate param, right? And that Brahman platform, when a person reaches, is Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kangsati. He does not lament, nor does he always desire for things, right? And he is fully satisfied, right? And then in earlier, just a couple of verses back in this particular section, he starts explaining to Arjuna about this Paramatma realization, a step further. Okay, Brahman realization, fine. Again, deeper Brahman realization is realization of the super soul. That the super soul is seated within each and everybody's heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridadesya arjuna tishtati. Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra arudini maya. He is directing the wanderings of everyone, of all living entities. Right? Just like it's the machine, right? Body is a machine, right? But there is a driver to that machine who guides that machine to operate. Right? So one cannot feel that he is the doer. He is independent of the Supreme Lord, right? Because the Lord is directing the wanderings of each and every living entity, right? And that person who is directing the wanderings of each and every living entity is the Paramatma, who is seated in also each and everybody's heart. The soul is seated in each and everybody's heart, and the Paramatma is seated is also in each and everybody's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridadesya sannivishtamata asmitim jnanapahanam cha vedesya sarvai aham eva veda vedanta krit veda vid eva aham. Sarvasya chaham hridadesya sannivishta. He is seated in each and everybody's heart. Right? From him comes intelligence, from him comes forgetfulness. He is the creator of the Vedas, and through him one needs to know the Vedas. Right? So that's the super soul. And the Lord guides Arjuna that one has to surrender to this super soul. A Paramatma realized person like the Ashtanga yogi, a yogi, ultimately sees in his perfected stage, sees the Lord right within his heart. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini. Suni cheva swapakecha pandita samadarshana. And with equal vision, then he sees a dog eater, right? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane, brahmana gavi hastini. A dog eater. I mean, he sees them with equal vision. Right? So, being Paramatma realized, then one has to take shelter of Paramatma. Take shelter of Paramatma, right? And then Lord nicely uses this word. Oh, I have explained to you all of this. Now it's up to you. Yat chasi tatha kuru. Now it is up to you how to act. Right? It is up to you how to act. And you can carry out your activities as you like. The Lord does not interfere, right? He has given each and every individual living entity minute independence, right? Minute independence, free will, and Lord allows us, each and every living entity, to use that free will. As you like, you may act. I'm giving you all these instructions, but you do what as you like and act accordingly. Whether you want to fight the war or you do not want to fight the war, now it is up to you. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, and the Lord says, before surrender, Srila Prabhupada nicely mentioned in this paper, before surrendering, one is free to deliberate on this subject as far as the intelligence goes. The Lord mentions that, okay, you surrender onto the super soul. But before surrendering, yat techasi tata kuru, he is free to deliberate. as far as his intelligence goes, right? And he's free to take guidance of a spiritual master, right? A bona fide spiritual master. He's free to take instruction from bona fide spiritual master, who is the representative of Krishna, right? So the Lord gives the process to come to him and ultimately leaves it to the living entity to act as he wishes. So now I've given you the process. Now whether to follow that process or not, it is up to you. So it's kind of summarizing this section that okay, Brahman realization or Mahatma realization. Now it's like more confidence. So Brahman realization is confidential knowledge. More confidential knowledge is Paramatma realization. And from the next section, 64th verse, Manmanabhav Mad Bhakta Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru, the Lord will explain the most confidential knowledge. Bhagavan realization. Right? Bhagavan realization, the most confidential knowledge. Right? Okay. Are there any questions on this subject matter? Hari Hari. Haribol.
No specific questions, Prabhuji, from my end. But I heard this term. I mean, again, I'm
Yeah,
only
go ahead.
started reading Bhagavad Gita, so please ignore my, uh, you know, please excuse my ignorance on this.
Mhm.
Uh, I heard this term dog and dog eater. Why is this reference given so many times uh, in our scriptures?
Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavyasini Suni Chaiva Swapakecha. Right. So basically, in that verse itself it is mentioned, like you can have no matter whether somebody is at it's like a dog or a dog eater. It's like a dog eater basically is like okay, like a more like a outcast person. In each and every, the idea is in each and every person, there is a super soul, right? Whether he is an elephant or a brahmana, dog or a dog eater, right? So dog eater, in the sense, basically, is the reference is given more as more like meat eater, right? But here, the translation is more like a dog eater because Sunish Chaiva Swapakecha. Right. That's where it comes, dog eater. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dandvat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, the question here with this was that Krishna is saying that I have shared all the confidential knowledge. And
Yes.
now on you, Arjuna, that what you want to do, what you wish to do, do that.
Yeah.
If in case that is still in our condition that Like Krishna is saying that I already killed all those people.
Yeah.
You are the only nimit. You already nimit. But
Mm.
in our cases also, sometimes it is already karmas that had, but and we have the knowledge also, and we are not act according to the right. Like Arjuna, if I
Mhm.
consider that Arjuna will not agree to fight again
Yeah.
after all this knowledge also. So what will the condition in that?
Well, under that condition, the Lord is kind of mentioning, okay, I have given you this a complete knowledge. Now it's up to you whether you want to fight or you do not want to fight. Just like we have, so many times we are given instructions, right, about right and wrong. When we grew up, we are being given instruction of what you should do, what you should not do. In school, we have been given instruction of what you should do, what you should not do, right? But still, ultimately, our based on our minute independence, at times we take our decisions, right? So the Lord is going to mention, okay, ultimately, then, uh, he explains throughout in the Bhagavad Gita, we see Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. He explains quite in detail. 18th chapter more is like a summary of that. And we see Karma Yoga, the 18th chapter, he talks about Karma Yoga, he talks about Jnana Yoga, and ultimately leads Arjuna to the most confidential knowledge, Bhakti Yoga. And while explaining that, he says, well, I have given you everything, then ultimately, Yate Chasi Tatha Kuru. As you feel, you act. So, the choice is ours. Lord does not interfere in our choice, right? Just like on the cigarette pack, very clearly there is instruction written. It is injurious to health. It is normal. And so much research that, okay, it can cause cancer, it will do this, it will do that. You act according to norms. And the government also raises a tax on it, like anything, right? So that it can become norms. A customer before buying uh, becomes not, he thinks twice. But ultimately, he's given a choice. Do what you like, right? Do what you like. And knowing that we are going to face bad reactions, knowing that we'll get bad results, knowing that it will affect our health, then we make the choice whether to follow that or whether to violate that. And ultimately, we have to bear the consequences, right? So similarly, Lord is here kind of mentioning that ultimately, you are free to act as you wish. Uh, you know, if you surrender to the Lord, right, Lord takes care of your karma. If you do not surrender to the Lord, you bear the results of your karma. Right? Does that answer your question, Chintamana Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Means the important that knowledge is not the sufficient. Implementation is more important.
Yes. The implementation is more important. That all this knowledge is there, but how do I then implement it in my day-to-day life? Yep. Very good. Just like means we have this Yajya Sishtashina Santo Muchante Sarva Kilbishai. Whatever you eat, right? First of all, you offer it to the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, you are barely eating only your sins. So knowledge is given. Whatever we eat, we should offer to the Lord. And that knowledge is also given. What does the Lord like? Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Right. It a little bit of leaf or flower or water, fruit. You can offer to the Lord. Then, if you take, so it becomes sanctified food and you won't have any reactions. Otherwise, we are violating only sins. Right. So at times we make our own choice then. Though these instructions are given by the Lord, and that same instructions are repeated by the spiritual master. Right? A bona fide spiritual master repeats the same instruction as the Supreme Lord. Right? Because he's a representative of the Supreme Lord. The spiritual master gives us that instruction. No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. Right? But ultimately, he does not force us to do according to what he is saying. No. He draws a path for us to go back to Godhead. But whether we want to strictly follow that path or not, that's our minute independence. Right? And based on that, Brahmanda Brahmite, we can go on wandering in this material universe. Right? Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Madhupati Prabhu.
Yes, Jai Prakash Prabhu. Jai.
Yeah. Okay. I need some clarification from you,
Yes.
whether I understood right or wrong. During the conversation, all the different yoga and everything, Lord also mentioned to the Arjuna that whether you like to fight or not, because you are a Kshatriya, you will fight at the end. Am I right? That's what the statement that the Lord Krishna made to the Arjuna. So, I mean, in that respect, where that free will thing comes then?
No. The Lord is saying, as a Kshatriya, it's your duty to fight. Arjuna is ready to give up his fighting. Right? He said, oh, no, how can I fight? I'm fighting against my spiritual master, I'm fighting against my grandfather. He's ready to give up fighting. The Lord is kind of mentioning that as a Kshatriya, you should fight. And Arjuna is saying that, oh, no, I don't want to fight because I will incur sinful reactions. And he gives early in the first chapter and
all those 5 reasons for not fighting it. Yeah.
Not for not fighting it, he gives that reasons.
Right.
And the Lord, throughout Bhagavad Gita, he explains how those 5 reasons are not true, which Arjuna is giving. Right. So he's explaining them, he's instructing him that, that reasons which you are giving are not true. Ultimately, it's up to you what to do. Right. And when does he start instructing him? He does not even begin instructing him.
Until he becomes the disciple, yeah.
Yeah, until he becomes a disciple. Kalpana dosha prata sabhava pichami tvam dharma samudacheta. Right? Shishyati ham sadhyam tvam prapanam. Or when Arjuna becomes disciple. And then, as a spiritual master, Lord Krishna instructs him throughout Bhagavad Gita. All means, okay, this karma yoga, the jnana yoga, the ashtanga yoga, and ultimately bhakti yoga, the topmost, right? instruction. And he again summarizes his entire instruction in the 18th chapter. And then leaves it to him. Okay, now after all these things are there. Now you do what you want to do, whether you want to fight the war or you do not want to fight the war. Earlier in the first chapter, he says, I don't want to fight the war because of these 5 reasons. And throughout, with so many discussions, in between there is also a back and forth question. So on one side you are telling me to do this, on the other side you are telling me to do this. What is good for me? Then Lord instructs the 3rd chapter. Same thing happens in the 5th chapter. Oh, you are telling me to renounce. And on one side you are telling me to fight. What should I do? And again, Lord Krishna explains, right? So that conversation is there and the deliberations is there. So intelligently, a living entity has to deliberate. That, okay, I have gotten all this intelligence, all these choices. What is good for me to do? Intelligently, a person needs to deliberate. What should I do in my life? Right. No, people ridicule us. Oh, what is he doing the whole day? Just chanting his rounds and wasting time, or he's doing yagya and it's like wasting all this ghee. Instead he could have given that ghee to make some halwa and fed the poor. Right? So many times people ridicule us. Right. So at the end of the day, Krishna, as a spiritual master of Arjuna, he guides him with all the instructions. And then leaves the choice to him to carry out. Like we have all these instructions from our spiritual master. Oh, wake up early in the morning. Chant your rounds in the Brahma Muhurta time. Possible go for Mangala Arti. Perform devotional service. Right. Every day read Shastra. All these instructions are there. How much you can follow, ultimately it's up to us. That's where the free will comes. That okay, Arjuna, Krishna has given all this instruction. Okay, now you act as you wish. Right? Okay, no, it's as you mentioned about Kshatriya, the inclination is there for you to fight, but then also you don't want to fight. For a Kshatriya, you are thinking about sins. Propensity of Kshatriya is to fight. Right? So if you fight the battle, there's no sins. For Kshatriya, there's no sins if he fights a battle. Right? And if he wins, if one reason does not want to fight the I won't be able to enjoy in either situation. Right? And that also Lord Krishna has mentioned. If he wins the war, he will be able to enjoy huge kingdom. And even if he does not win the war, he will still be elevated to a higher kingdom. Right? So in both cases, there is advancement as far as his enjoyment propensity is concerned. Right? So for him to think that, in both cases, I will not be able to enjoy. If I win, those whom I want to enjoy the kingdom with, they won't be there. And if I lose, I won't be able to enjoy. In both cases, I won't be able to enjoy. And Krishna is saying, in both cases, you will be able to enjoy as a Kshatriya. Right. So Arjuna is the one who doesn't want to fight. And Krishna is the one who is encouraging him to fight. But then he leaves it to him that, okay, you do what you want to do. I have given you all this instruction. And that's where ultimately later on, end of this chapter, after deliberate intelligence, Arjuna makes that decision that now all my doubts are dispelled and I will fight the war. Right? Does that answer your question, Jayaprakash?
Yes, Madhupati. Thank you. Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Anything else? Any more discussions? Thank you very much for nice discussion today. Yeah. Yep. Any other questions? Realizations which anyone would like to share? Yeah. Yeah. Haribol. Jai Prakash Prabhu. So you have some other question, discussions?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you. Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Prakash Prabhu understand everything.
Yeah, no, it's Sukumani Mataji's turn.
Then Bhagavad.
No problem, Mataji. So,
Krishna told us to surrender unto him. So how much we can surrender? Though we say surrender, is it possible to total surrender?
yeah, why not? If you fully surrender, it's possible. No. It all depends upon us. Right? If I keep my baggage with me, I may not be able to surrender. But if I completely, okay, as you wish, I'm just taking full shelter at your lotus feet. Right? I'm taking full shelter at your lotus feet. And we see, our spiritual preceptors, how they're fully surrendered to the Supreme Lord. So when it has been possible, right in front of us, we have seen devotees who have taken full shelter of the Supreme Lord. Why it is not possible for us? It is possible for us. Right? It is possible for us. Draupadi, for her to take full shelter of Krishna was possible. But she was deliberating, no, on my own. I will try to protect my modesty. And ultimately she takes full shelter of the Supreme Lord. So similarly, we try to do our own way of things. The spiritual master tells us again and again, don't waste your time, don't waste your time, don't waste your time, right? And now something goes in our ears, something we still, oh no, I finished my rounds and I said, hush, it's done. Not thinking that, okay, now it's done, fine, now let me chant more rounds. That full surrender comes when we fully dedicate our time in Krishna consciousness. But when we think about, oh, no, I also have to do this. Today is a special game. I need to watch cricket. Oh, today is something very special. I need to eat rasgulla or this or that, right? And our mind plays tricks. It is prasadam. So, no, why not I relish? So mind plays tricks, making us feel, yeah, it is completely all right. Till some higher authority comes and tells us, hey, no, you are just wasting your time. You are trying to row your boat to cross this material ocean, but your anchor is tied to the shore. Right? Your anchor is tied to the shore in form of this dharma or that dharma or that dharma or that dharma. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam shanavraja. Right? Abandon all varieties of religion. Oh no, I have to take care of my son, I have to take care of this, I have to take care of my grandson, I have to take care of this. Right? And we are bound with all those conditions. But the moment we give up that yeah, ultimately we fully surrender to the Supreme Lord and His bona fide representative, right? Then we carry out some activities which may be required for us to do. Iha yasha haridasya karmana manasya gira. Nikhilasu api avastasu jivan muktasu uchate. By mind, body and words, one who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord, even if he is performing some material activities, he is in a liberated condition. Right. So it's there, our the super soul is witnessing our activities, and now sees our determination, how determined we are to execute devotional service 24/7. And at the same time also sees our weaknesses. Oh, he has weakness of this, he has weakness of that, he has weakness of family affection, he has weakness of eatables. He's too attracted to this kind of prasadam, or he's too attracted to even this kind of service, or these kinds of comfort. Right. At the end, we just need a 6-foot space to sleep. Right. You can sleep anywhere, but you think that no, I want to have some minimal comfort. And because of that minimal comfort, that minimal gets extended to, a small bed, to a bigger room, to a bigger apartment, to a bigger house, to bigger this. And that kind of binds us.
Lot of desire.
Yeah, so when we detail our desires fully in the service of the Lord, then we are free from that desires. But otherwise, that desire, it binds us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to your question, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Yeah. Do only that thing where you completely serve the Supreme Lord.
ते कारण लागेल more कर्म बंद फाश.
Yeah, in that way, person becomes desireless. He carries out only the desires of the Lord.
So that means this material body always with desire.
This material body is with desire. No, not material body. Material body is just lump of matter. It does not have desire. The soul has desire.
What is called? Sthula body, I want to say, like a Sukha body also can.
Yeah, the soul has desire in a conditioned state because it's identifying with the body. It desires the comfort of the body in a conditioned state. But otherwise, the desire comes from the soul, consciousness. Either you can desire to serve the Lord or you can desire to serve the illusory energy of the Lord. In both cases, you will be serving. Serving the internal energy of the Lord or serving the external energy of the Lord. But most of the times we take shelter of the illusory energy of the Lord and we identify ourselves with the body. And then we think about so much comfort of the body.
So when we asking for some comfort, that means always think for the comfort. That means it's like a sense gratification.
Yes, it's sense gratification. But the moment we think about only the comforts of the Supreme Lord, forget about our comforts. We think about the comfort of the Supreme Lord. How can I serve Him best? How can I preach the message, His message to others amidst all discomfort? Those hearing, my God, Brother Kalmakala Maharaj. Immense pain, but when when suddenly you will get pain, my Guru Maharaj will say that, the degree from 1 to 10, that pain level would be like 9, that intense pain. And what will he do? He will bow down to the pain. Hare Krishna. And continue on. Right. So, right amidst us, right, the preceptors are there, but that comes by regular practice of full dedication in the service of the Lord. Right. Otherwise, we have pain and we say, oh no, today is too much pain. No, I cannot finish my rounds. I'll leave it aside. I'll finish tomorrow early in the morning. I will cover up for my rounds. Right? So Maya can play tricks on us. But the moment we are determined to do things, despite all the pain, we'll just continue on. Right? No pain, no gain. In the spiritual life, despite all the pain,
But the pain is a test.
yeah, it's test of our determination.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Dattata Prabhu.
I have one question. That is actually desire come from our soul.
Yes.
Actually, desire come from our soul or our mind, intelligent and false ego. Soul is the soul is the Satchit Ananda. So how come it will the desire soul will
So
yes.
Soul is Satchidananda. It's part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So it is Satchidananda. But because it is identifying with the body, it is a conditioned consciousness. Right? It's a conditioned consciousness. So that's where the desire comes still from that consciousness. Desire to enjoy separately from the Lord comes from the consciousness. Desire to see that my body is comfortable. Now, otherwise my body is what? Lump of matter. Moment the soul leaves the body, what happens to the body? It starts disintegrating. There is no comfort. Right? People put the body, bury the body or put it on a fire. Right? There is no comfort. We are thinking, oh, body is feeling intense pain, body is feeling intense cold, body is this, body is that. Because we are identifying ourselves with the body. And who are we identifying ourselves with the body? The soul. And mind is the repository of the experiences. Oh, if I turn this, I'll get intense heat. If I turn this, I'll get intense cold. Right. So it is a repository of our experiences. And intelligence is the one who
Driven.
all the data which is in that hard drive, mind, it takes, yes, if you do this, you will get this. If you do this, you will get this. Right? So, from that, the desire does not come. Desire comes still from the soul. Under the influence of false ego, it is thinking himself that it's the body. And that's why it's desiring the comforts of the body. But, as you mentioned, when Mataji mentioned Cheto Darpana Marjanam, when happens in a pure state, it is Satchidananda. It's eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. And that's internal. The whole world is looking for happiness outside. Oh, let me go to Hawaii, let me go here, let me go there, let me go there. Right? To get happiness. while the real happiness is from within.
Yeah.
Right? Let me serve the Lord early in the morning, Mangala Arati. And what does a devotee do when he goes for Mangala Arati? He dances. He sees the beautiful form of the Lord and he's dancing in front of the Lord. Right? But the time before going for Mangala Arati, oh no, there's some, I still feel sleepy, I still feel this, I still feel that. Right? Ignorance tries to bind us.
So our sadhana, we are doing the sadhana, chanting. This is actually to control the mind or control the soul. How our sadhana, where it is going? It is control the mind or towards the mind, false ego it is going, or towards soul it is going?
Well, our sadhana, the soul has these coverings of all these unwanted desires.
Anarthas.
So our sadhana is going Cheto Darpana Marjanam.
To whom? Mind or to
No,
soul?
Cheto Darpana Marjanam, to clean the mirror
Yeah, to whom?
of heart, the mirror of the soul.
Mirror of the soul. Yeah,
The soul is covered.
yeah.
So to clean that mirror,
Then we can see Paramatma, we can see Lord.
then our real constitutional position that we are part and parts of the Supreme Lord manifest. And in that pure consciousness, even the mind gets purified. Right? Because the mind, intelligence and false ego also cover the soul. Right? They are not different. They are also covering the soul.
How come soul is contaminated? It is a Satchidananda. How come it became a contaminated?
Because life after life we did all the anarthas.
These are the surroundings. Our
Yeah.
karma is our surroundings, right?
Yeah, they are just like, how come we don't see the moon? The moon is covered by the clouds. Right? Are the clouds more powerful than the moon? No. They're not powerful than the moon. The moon is more powerful. But it is covered by the clouds.
Those are the mind, intelligent, and false ego, right?
Yeah, similarly, the soul is covered. Now, it is more powerful than the coverings. Right? But when it identifies itself with the coverings, right, and the moon starts thinking, oh no, I have no light. No, I'm just the cloud. When it starts identifying itself with the subordinate things, right, then its real light is hidden. It's covered. Right. But when it says, no, I'm the real moon, I'm the real light, and then it starts practicing to uncover. Right. That's when now the real constitutional position manifests, and the real ego, Aham Brahmasmi, I'm the spirit soul, comes. Otherwise, you ask somebody, 99% of the people will say there is no soul. Right? They'll just say, oh, no, I'm the body, and now khao, piyo, maja karo. Right? Dinam kitva pibat jivet. Yavat jivet sukam jivet.
More bonding.
Yeah, yavat jivet sukam jivet. Charvaka Muni. Right? Back, borrow, still, but it gave yavat jivet sukam jivet. No much. Who has seen that? You just live life king size. Yeah. The desire, the moment we desire, that means we have consciousness. Moment we have consciousness, that means we still have Atma within us. Moment that consciousness is not there, that means okay, the Atma has gone off from the body. Yeah.
I was thinking that our soul is 100% pure Satchitananda.
It is.
Yeah, which is covered by mind, intelligence, and false ego.
Mm-hmm.
So our sadhana, that is, I am thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I may be wrong. Our sadhana to nullify mind, intelligent, and false ego. Nullified, not nullified. That means control that mind, intelligent, and false ego. But soul is soul. Soul is Satchidananda.
Yeah.
So that is it? Is it correct or not? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the soul is Satchidananda. That is completely 100% correct.
Yeah.
It is Satchit Ananda.
Yeah.
The covering of the soul is also 100% correct. That there is covering of the soul.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, mind, intelligence, false ego.
Yeah.
So covering, what is that? False ego. False ego is thinking, it's not the numbers. It's not thinking about the soul, it's thinking about the body now.
Yeah. Correct.
Right? The false ego is making you think that it's the body.
Yeah.
And the moment the false ego is making you think it's the body, it is making decisions based on what is stored in the mind and how the intelligence is carrying out the decisions from what is stored in the mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But soul is independent.
Soul is independent.
Yeah.
But it's in the conditioned state, it is covered.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It is Satchidananda,
Mm-hmm.
but it's covered. Because it's identifying itself
With the body.
false ego, it is identifying itself with the body. Right. So, our sadhana is removing these coverings. Even of this mind and the false ego, it's removing the coverings. That's why this mantra is mentioned. Mantra. One which delivers the mind of all anxieties. Right. Mantra is one who delivers the mind of all anxieties. Otherwise, the mind is thinking about, okay, no, I have to go. I'm chanting, but I have just limited time. I have to go to a meeting. I have only this time. Oh, then how am I going to take bath? Oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. It's always thinking, even while you're performing sadhana. Right? Or it is thinking, oh, the body needs a little bit more rest. This, that. It's thinking. Right? And how it's able to think? Through that consciousness, it is able to think, which is emanating from the soul. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Hmm?
So anatos is mind, intelligence, and false ego. They are
the repository.
Yeah.
Mind is the repository of those unearthers, right?
Yes. Yeah.
No one's mind is repository that okay, no one's I get this when I touch this I get this nice pleasure. It's a repository.
Here I have another question. Suppose we are talking with the consciousness, soul consciousness, but how mind diverted us to go, oh, I am trying to go east. The mind telling that, no, you should not go east, you should go on west. So how this energy mind get it? Why, that means we are driven by the soul, but who is driven by mind, intelligence, and false ego?
False ego.
False ego is driven.
False ego is more powerful.
Yeah.
More subtle you go,
Uh-huh.
more than the mind intelligence is powerful, more than the intelligence, false ego is powerful. And false ego makes us think that we are numbers. The soul wants to, the pure consciousness wants to direct himself to serve the Lord. Oh, no, this service of the Lord. We have many lifetimes to do that. Right now, let's just enjoy.
How false ego get the energy? From where? From soul?
Yeah?
From soul.
Yeah, because no, it's identifying the condition, the false ego. The moment false ego is in play, that means that the consciousness, which is emanating from the soul, it's conditioned consciousness.
Yeah.
And that conditioned consciousness is making it think this way. I am Indian, I am American, I am man, I am women. Right? It's making it think like that on the conditioned level.
But soul is the pure, Satchidananda. Soul always gives good emanating.
That's true.
Emanating. But why mind and why false ego is driving in bad way?
Hovering. Hovering.
That is our, is it from our karma fall? It is not.
You call karma fall, you may call whatever you want to call, but it's coverings.
It's coverings.
I think when our action not towards Krishna, this kind of reaction happen. But if it is towards Krishna, that
moment our action is not towards Krishna, that means false ego.
Yeah. So jetha maya taha nahi, jeta Krishna surya sama hoy, maya andhakar, jetha
Jahan Krishna vahan nahi maya adhikar.
Maya adhikar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is Shastra says, where is no Krishna, any Krishna's activity, that is dark. That is the darkness. And that is the covering everything.
Yeah. And there are people who like darkness. Oh, keep the lights off. Oh, I want to be in dark. That's why mode of ignorance is more in darkness. Mode of goodness is more in light. Mode of ignorance and passion, they prevail more in darkness. Right? Passion prevails more in afternoon. Ignorance prevails more in evening, night time. And goodness, the best time of goodness to prevail is more in early morning. Right?
At that time, mind, intelligence, false ego are sleeping.
They are not sleeping.
They always wake up. They talked with you. Sleep little more. The mind talk with us.
Yeah. Okay. Hari.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
You're on a roll. Tata Prabhu and Sukumani Mataji Jai.
Thank you, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you very much. Don't let your mind, intelligence, and false ego sleep, but control it. Just like, we see the picture, mind is like the reins of a horse. The horses are the senses. The reins are the mind. The intelligence is, right?
Krishna.
The one who is pulling the reins.
Yeah.
Chariot. Pulling.
Yeah.
Right. Govinda.
Okay. Vancha kalpatarupasya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavane bhayo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha vaishnavinda ki jai. Nansa Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.